Wisconsin's going to be coming down. But
if I have to go, like you said, I think I'm going to go with Iowa. They're a physical team, and I think that coming off of the big emotional upset last week, Wisconsin will be primed for emotional letdown.
Honestly, Iowa is just a better team, better defense. They shut people down. I just see Iowa knocking off, just beating Wisconsin, knocking them out of the game.
Well, we also talk about the Oregon-UCLA game that's supposed to be big. That's coming up on Thursday night. I mean, I see Oregon dominating in this game, though. That was another topic we were talking about this time. Can Oregon maintain them winning, keeping it up? I mean, I think Oregon can be able to beat UCLA.
I got Oregon over UCLA.
I'm going with Oregon also.
Well, let me ask you guys this question. Right now, we got a lot of sports going on right now. We got Major League Baseball in the playoffs. We got college football. We got NFL football. We got NBA that's about to get going. I mean, you guys think this is probably the best time of year to watch sports?
Of course, it's all lumped in one.
Absolutely. I think this is the best time of the year to watch sports because you have the MLB playoffs, and the NBA about to start. You have the NFL season. You also have the hockey about to start. And then, Midnight Madness just kicked off this past weekend. So I think this is to me, this is one of my favorite times of the year.
Well, speaking of Major League Baseball, right now we got the ALCS and the NLCS. We had a game early today in the NLCS where the Phillies were playing the Giants, and the Giants were able to pull it out with Matt Cain pitching. I mean, Wally, you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, the Giants are playing out of this world, playing small ball basically. You have Cody Ross who's playing out of his mind. He had, I believe he has 3 home runs in this series and 4 RBIs. And you had Matt Cain, who never beat the Phillies in terms of his whole career, finally got a W against the Phillies in the postseason when it counts. And you got Lincecum, who outpitched Holiday in Game 1. So, I mean, they're in prime run to upset the Phillies, honestly.
Well, I think the Phillies, even though the Giants were able to pull it out now, the Giants are up 2-1. I like the Phillies. They're able to come back from that. And in other news, we had the ALCS. I mean, in that series, we got the Rangers that are up right now. They're at what, 2-1. Cliff Lee had a big pitching game last night. What did he have? He had like 13 Ks last night.
Yeah, big would be an understatement.
Yeah, no one's really looking for Texas in this game, but I mean, right now they're up 2-1. I mean, you want to elaborate on it a little bit?
Yeah, me being a Yankees fan, I'm really into this series. I didn't expect the performance that I expected from the Texas Rangers yesterday. Josh Hamilton really showed up, came through. Cliff Lee was phenomenal last night. So this game, with them going up 2-1, it kind of puts the Yankees in a tight spot.
I mean, it's tough for the Yankees. You have A.J. Burnett pitching tonight, which the game is pretty much on now. His ERA has been, in terms of this season, 5.25, and he's 10-15 this year. He pitched so poorly during the season they didn't even pitch him in the ALDS series against the Twins. So. They need a big game from AJ. If he doesn't perform, this could be over. They don't want to see Cliff Lee. They don't want to see Cliff Lee. They don't want to see him again.
Hopefully the Yankees can be able to bounce back. But speaking of that game last night, Robinson Cano. You think he missed his opportunities of really catapulting what he can do as a Yankee?
If you're talking about Game 2, he missed a big opportunity to definitely put the Yankees up and put them 2-0. But you know what? It goes both ways, because in Game 1 he came up clutch with a home run, I believe, in Game 1. So I think Cano, it happens. A-Rod was known with that stigma of not being a player who can come clutch, and he had his opportunity last year, and he came up big in the postseason. So it just depends.
Well, we're about to hop into a commercial break. When we get back, we're going to be talking that NBA action when we return.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies.
America sure is a beautiful place, but what really makes America the beautiful is the right it gives every one of its citizens to vote. So this November, do something important for yourself and your country. Vote. It's what makes America the beautiful.
From sea to shining sea.
This November, use your voice. Make your choice. Vote. A message from the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Welcome back to the Urban Sports Team. We're about to hop into that NBA action right now. Man, what's up with Gilbert, though, man? That's the only thing. What's up with Gilbert, man?
He wanted Nick Young to get some burn. I don't see the big deal in it.
You don't see the big deal in faking an injury for Nick Young to get some burn.
Flip Saunders has been ripping Nick Young for the last couple of years. I'm glad he did that. Good for Nick Young. Kudos for Nick Young.
Man, Gilbert, oh man, you're like a bad role model, man. I mean, I think right now with the situation he's in,
Number
it was a
9
bad
jersey.
move, but a good teammate move. But it's bad that he came out and told everybody.
Yeah, I mean, people equate this to Gilbert being Gilbert, but after a certain point, come on, dude, I'm starting to question your intelligence. You're just getting over a gun suspension. For the past 2 years, everyone's criticized you for the way of handling your rehab with your with your knee injuries, and then you go and pull this stunt, and then on top of that, you go and injure your groin. So who's to say that he's not faking a groin injury right now? He's like the kid who cried wolf.
Man, because you put your guns down there. That's why, man. He ain't faking nothing. But what did you think about that, Ray, about Gilbert's situation?
Regardless, he wants to get traded. You can tell because he kept emphasizing in the interview right afterwards, we're on a guard-loaded team. He doesn't want to be at Washington no more because of all the guards. I don't think it's that bad, honestly, but I think it's clear that he wants to get traded.
But how you guys think the preseason's been going right now? I mean, Wade's pretty much sitting out most of the preseason. I mean, any teams that's jumping out there that maybe impress you guys a little bit? Or
The one team out west that has really impressed me because I've caught probably, I say 3 of their preseason games is the Houston Rockets. Even though we all know that Yao Ming probably is not going to make it through all 82 games, if Yao Ming can play possibly 19 minutes of the games that he's in and they can kind of save him for the playoffs, I think that the Houston Rockets is going to be a team that comes out of the, I'm not going to say they're going to come out of the West, but during playoffs, when it gets closer to the playoffs, I think there'll be a team that's dangerous and a lot of people don't want to see.
what about you, Wall?
I'm gonna keep it local. I think the Washington Wizards have been impressive. I think John Wall has looked good. I think Nick Young has looked good actually. You know, even though Gilbert gave him that clock, he looks pretty good. And even JaVale McGee defensively wise, in terms of being off the ball, being that guy who can block shots off the ball, he seems good. I think they seem like they can make some strides this year.
Did you want to chime in on this over there, Ray?
I think the Celtics, they look strong defensively. I don't know if they can hold up throughout a whole game. They're going to have to sub quite often, but if they can keep it close in the first half and get those veterans in the second half defensively, they're going to be tough to deal with during the regular season.
Man, me for the preseason, wake me up when it's about playoff time, because as long as we got football season, I ain't be paying too much attention to the basketball right now. But a question I want to pose for you guys right now, you think players in the 80s and the 90s could be able to be successful right now if they played in the league? A reason I bring this up is, the recent basketball game with, 2K 11, 12, 13, I don't know, what we on now? You got Jordan on the cover, and Jordan's playing with like Kobe and everybody else and their mom. I mean, what you guys think about that? If a player from the 80s and 90s, how do you think he'd do today?
Absolutely. I think the players from the 80s and the 90s could excel in today's NBA just because the players back then were more skilled. Today's players is more about athletic talent, and just the way the game's played now is more of a isolation game, whereas back in the 80s and 90s it was a more team-oriented game, a lot of passing, a lot of pick and roll and things of those nature. It's essentially how the game